one thing I forgot to add in that video, when Karl Malone is backing down and before Michael Jordan steals the ball, one thing that big men are told when you get the ball is to hold it in front of you and always keep your eye looking behind you so you can make sure that's never stolen from you. So one thing that Malone never does is exactly that. He never checks behind him. So it's almost like he allowed Michael Jordan to come and steal it from him. It's like they practice that stuff. So just keep your eye on that stuff. What's going on, everybody? And what you got in front of you is Michael Jordan on his little bull escapade when he makes his last shot. And what we're really talking about is how the NBA picks their favorites and lets them go along and win championships. So Michael Jordan was their pet. Now we had Kobe after that, and Shaq, and then we have LeBron now. LeBron is leaving, obviously. Now we're leaning more towards KD, Joel Embiid, Harden. So the NBA picks their stars and they run with it. So right now I think they're going with the, now it's all about the theme teams. So now we have what? Brooklyn, right? We have Brooklyn with Kyrie and Durant. They had their chance. They broke that apart. Harden went over to Philly. Now you got Philly and Embiid together. I think the league wants those guys to take storm because Antetokounmpo, whatever or his name is, he got his championship last year. So they need a new champion. They had Durant get his 3 or 2 he had with Golden State, with Steph and everybody. So they had their championships. So now I think the league wants Harden to get his championship with Joel Embiid. That's a 2-for-1 right there, you know? So I think that's what the NBA wants to do. Joel Embiid is the new best player in the league. LeBron is on his way out. He's 39. You know, unless he gets like another 2 superstars that really are durable and can shoulder the load, we've probably seen the last of LeBron in the finals. So that's what the NBA wanted him to do. The NBA, they tell these guys what to do, and they do it. The NBA told LeBron, you're going to LA and you're only going to win 1 more chip. And that's what it's going to be. But you're going to make a whole lot of money. You're going to be respected, but that's what it is. And they have to follow suit. LeBron can't fight those forces. They gave him his COVID title, and that's the last one he's going to get. You know, he had a great career, and we got to enjoy him playing during the regular season, and that's it. But without further ado, let's take a look at how they rig basketball games. It's not like football games where they do it like every play or just like you see guys just not playing their position right. What it is with the NBA, it's the referees. It's the calls or the non-calls. That's what controls the games. And late in games, that's really what causes games to be lost and won. So in this game, you guys can hate what I say. I loved Michael Jordan. He was great to watch. I loved him. Still love him. Still watch his highlights. Still love him. But anybody that's objective and can look at this, well, not this play, but the last shot that he takes, anyone objectively can look and tell that that was an offensive pass, or excuse me, offensive charging foul. And they just didn't call it because it's Michael Jordan. You don't make a call like that on Michael Jordan, especially at the end of the game. But if it was anyone else playing CYO basketball or any other game, anyone else in that scenario, they're calling offensive charging on that. You can't just push somebody off. And then we know Brian Russell had a little bit of an acting job. Like, there's no way he's going to slide that far off of him, you know? So he did a nice little acting job. As a kid, when I'm watching this, I'm only like 10 years old. I'm looking at this, I'm like, oh my God, what a nice crossover. And now in my 30s, I'm looking at this like, no way, this is just not real. But let's look at this together. I think I may have it slowed down so we can look at the footwork and dissect. But I think this is the play before where he comes backside. Look at him, he's cheating. So right here, what you see, so they're trying to isolate Karl Malone on the backside post here, and they would have had it. So John Stockton gives him the inlet pass, and literally Malone is already thinking score because he's thinking Jordan went baseline because they're running a play right now. This is an offensive set they run all the time. I look back at their plays. This is an offensive set they like to run. Hornacek goes to baseline, and he's the second option. If Malone doesn't have it, they pass it over there. I've seen them run that play plenty of times. So what happens is Jordan doesn't follow Hornacek. He pretends to, and Malone doesn't see him. He thinks he has an open lane, but Jordan takes it from him from behind. And then here we go. They start jogging down, sizing up. So right now they're already confused. They don't even know. Look what's going on here. So you have, who's this? I think that's John Stockton, Hornacek, Brian Russell. All three of them right here. They don't know who's guarding who. They're all talking right now. They don't know what's going on in the finals. 16 seconds left in the game, and they don't know who to guard. He's open too, honestly. Like, they have whatever they want here. So here we go. Finally, they decide, all right, he's got him. So look at him. He's already kind of flat-footed, right? So he's flat-footed. Jordan sizes him up. They just need a two, but he's trying to take all the clock off. Pippen gets out, clears out. Look at that. You saw how his arm pushed off on his back, but then look at that. There's no way you get that much separation unless you push the man. There is no way. Let's look at how that arm motion over there. I love me some Michael Jordan. But you see that left arm? He's a strong man, Michael Jordan is. He was able to push him. Like, he's off balance. So what I think Brian Russell did here, he thought that he was going to go baseline, but he over-exaggerated. Like, he's so athletic, hyper-athletic. He could have turned around easily to recover. But instead of recovering, he gets the push, and then he slides off, makes it look like he got faked out. Now he's on the ground, basically kissing the ground. And now Michael Jordan just has a wide open shot. It's his shot to make or miss. So basically, if Michael Jordan misses that, they go to game, I think it would have been 6. And they would have let him win the next one. But this is a clear example of the NBA giving Michael Jordan the perfect opportunity to be the poster boy. And he just sat there and made his shot. They didn't give him the call. Nothing. I know it's kind of reaching, but that's just what it is. The referees control the game at that point. Let's see it in this angle right here. And then watch his left arm. Just watch. It's not... But right there, that push is just enough to give him the space he needs. Michael Jordan, that left arm, guys, is a strong arm. I don't know if you've seen his workouts, but he can easily bench 300 pounds. So if you could bench 300 pounds, that's easily... If you're benching 3 plates, so you could easily push 200 pounds of weight on each arm, easily. Especially if you're standing up, because benching, you're on your back. So if you're standing up with all your legs underneath you and a man off balance, you can push him and send him for a ride, and which is what he did, guys. And anyone that played basketball, see his left arm right there? Anyone that played basketball can tell you that any type of pushing while someone's running and off balance, especially if you're in midair, will cause a lot. And as you can see here, his feet aren't even on the ground, so he's literally going to get tossed. So I don't care what anyone says. I love me some Michael Jordan, but this was a push-off that was never called, and the referees didn't want to ever call it, and they were never going to call it because they were just watching Michael. They weren't watching him. They couldn't care less. But as they watch the tape now, they know they got away with one. The ref should have called this right here, guys. That's an offensive charge. You can't push a guy off like that. But he did it so subtly in a way that it wasn't egregious. Whereas if his hands were over here and he shouldered him and pushed him in his shoulder or in his midsection torso area, it would have been a lot more egregious. But the fact that he did it on his bum, like thigh, hip area, it's hard to see. It's a lot more subtle. And you think, oh, your arm should be stronger than legs, but this man is off balanced. So that's really all it takes. You know what I mean? Anyone that's playing defense, especially if you're playing defense on Michael Jordan, you need anything you can get. Right here, he's in great position. Great position. Great position. And then he's still in great position, but guess what? Michael Jordan's a strong man, and he shoved him. And you could tell he got shoved because he's losing his balance. Like, Michael Jordan literally shoved him. But you got to understand, in that stadium, it is so loud. It is so electric. No referee can even, like, understand what's going on right now, honestly, in that moment. It's easy for me to, like, pause it and slow it down and show you, it's easy right now. But in the moment, I can see how a ref misses this call, but this is a blown call on purpose to let Michael Jordan just end the game. Look at this guy. This guy. So okay, if you get shoved, you've been in a fight before, or a little tussle, or maybe you played football. If somebody pushes you, right? If somebody pushes you and it's a hard push, you're gonna take several steps to whatever direction they shoved you in. And if it's like a soft push, you know, it's probably 1 step, maybe 2 steps. You got your balance, and that's it. But Michael Jordan put some force in this push. Let's look at how many steps this guy took after the push was initiated. So let's look at this. 1. Let's look. So there's the push. 1 step, 2 steps, 3 steps, 4 steps, 5. He has to turn around. It's too late. 5 steps, too late. Ball game. And that's what it is. And actually, they had a chance to come down and score, but John Stockton just missed the shot, I believe. Look at that push off right there. You see it. But the thing is how Michael Jordan is so smart and subtle. You could tell he's been playing basketball for so long. Look at how he gracefully doesn't follow through with the push, so it doesn't look egregious. So he knows what he's doing. He uses this move. Look at this. It's graceful. He lets off. He lets up. He makes his fingers stay straight so it doesn't look like he pushed. So he keeps his hands like this instead of going like that. Because if it went like that, then the referees would know he pushed. But he kept his hands straight like this. See what I mean? So that affects everything. So looking at it, so now he keeps it straight so it looks like he was dribbling the whole time, but he wasn't. So that ref, by the time he sees his hand, he can't tell what happened. He's already mesmerized by the shot, and it's over, guys. And that's just how Michael Jordan gets it.